So here's a sculpting technique that's really useful and you're probably not using. In this video I'm going to show you this technique and give you a practical example of its use. So I'm in the sculpting workspace. I'll bring out my brushes so you can easily see them, and my shortcut keys are down the corner here. Now the first thing about this is the use of masks. Now let's say I wanted to stick out some sort of shape from here. Well, I could kind of draw that in, come around to the side, maybe select my grab tool, make my brush a bit bigger with F, and just sort of start pulling it out like this. It's not great because it goes off at an angle, so you have to come around to the front and sort of readjust it and pull it out this way, but then it's going downwards. And you can see the difficulty with this technique. Now it's a bit stretched of course at this point, so you'd want to do a remesh, Shift R for your voxel size, so I'm at about 0.03, and Control R for a remesh, and then we can start kind of smoothing that out, and we've got our extrusion. However, let's undo all that, and we're back at the start. There's a much better way, much simpler way of doing this, and it has lots of practical uses. First of all, let's take you down the brushes to the mask brush here. The mask brush allows me to paint an area which I can't affect. So let's bring down the size of the brush, let's paint this area at the front here, and now I can't affect this area when I'm painting. Let's go back to the draw brush, so back up to the top, draw brush, and start painting. You can see I can't affect it, and that in itself is a useful tool, which is great. I'll undo that. If I press Control I now, that inverts my mask. So that's Control I for inverting the mask. So now I can only affect this area in here. And again, I could get the grab brush here and go to side view, resize my brush and start pulling it out. It's not bad, but it does go off at weird angles. It's not that easy to control. I'll undo that. And instead, if I scroll down to the bottom, we've got transform controls. So the move tool here. So if I come around to the side now, I can grab this and pull it out. And that has a lot more control. It is perpendicular to my camera, so it has gone off at a bit of an angle, and I'd need to come around and find a flatter view, probably around here. And there we go, that's not too bad. I can of course move this nice and easily into position, or any position that I want. And you can see this is a lot easier than the grab brush. This is the move brush, so it's moving these faces at the end. And of course it's really stretched, so we'll do Control R, do a remesh. Now it's confusing at this point because I'm trying to smooth out with holding down Shift, but it's not working. That's because I'm on the move tool, so I need to come back to one of my brushes, such as the draw brush, hold down Shift and smooth out, and it starts to work. If you don't do a remesh, you'll still have the mask, and to clear the mask is Alt M. Then you'll be able to affect the whole shape again. So that's how we can pull out objects from our meshes. So I'll give you a practical example of this. I'll quickly make a face. Okay, so a very basic face. Now I want to create a neck. Well, I press M for my mask brush, bring my brush down, draw this area in, Control I for the inverse, scroll down to the move brush. Let's go into side view with 3, and I can just move this down into position. Check that's okay, it's looking good. Back up to my grab brush, and still with the mask on, I can start editing this into the shape I want. Anytime I want to turn my mask off, Alt M, Control R for a remesh, and now I can start smoothing out. Can't help but want to tidy the shape up a bit, but I think you get the idea. So that's the mask tool combined with the move brush, and you can create all these kind of extrusions. I did the same for the ear with this model, and it's something that's really worth getting used to. I'm a bit lazy at times and end up using the grab brush, but using the mask and move is a lot more effective. I'll leave the time lapse of me creating the rest of the face here, you might be interested. I felt like I needed a bit of practice, so I kept going with the face. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.